Hey guys, welcome to Code 1 Mechanical. I got a different one for you today. We're going to be talking tools. So we'll look at my service bag or my current service bag. Look at some of the tools that I have that I use for servicing and sometimes install. Honestly, I just take this bag everywhere I'm at, depending if it's a service or install. But we'll kind of do a two-part series. We'll look at one side of the bag or two sides of the bag, and then I'll do the other two sides on another one. Just try to keep them a little shorter. I guess we can start on this side. So scoot this back. First thing, got a knife. Everyone's got to have a knife. These Milwaukee fastbacks. All right, I'm not a Milwaukee fanboy, but these things are like $13 for a set of two. I mean, come on, they're made in C. Heine anyway. But I like this one. I mean, it's easy flip open. You can tell I've been cutting drywall with this one. But I carry this one just because it has the additional 5 blades that you can carry. So that's nice. Not a huge fan of the clip. Like I said, you can get these in a 2-pack for pretty cheap when they go on sale quite often. But they usually come in a 2-pack. So you got this one's aluminum, this one's plastic body, so it's a little lighter weight. And I took the belt clip off of this one just to make it more ergonomic. But I do like that they flip open real quick and easy. This one, pretty comfortable handle, whether you're holding it back here or you choke up on it up here. Pretty versatile. I like them. But this one's nice. It does have some provisions here so you can cut or strip wire, and as well as down here kind of has the same feature, and they all have the feature where you can put the end of the tape measure into here so that you can score. So that's handy. So that's that. Next, I got this little pocket level. I've had this guy for a long time. It says get a level. But I just use this whenever I'm installing thermostats. It's real handy. Just set it on top of the thermostat or the back plate and make sure everything's level. And yeah, I've replaced the bubble juice in here multiple times. You know, it's evaporated and stuff, so I just got to refill them. Tape measure. All right, I currently use this Camelon Mag Grip. It's a 25-footer. It's got the 2 magnets at the end. Those are helpful whenever you're measuring ductwork or anything. Just be able to hang it up on something. Just single-sided. Pretty nice. It's got your fractions in there. I like it. It's got the brake in the bottom, so you can control it there. Been using that for a little bit. I used to carry this Klein. This one's really great. I've had this again for many years. Same thing. It's got the 2 magnets at the end, and just look at the quality here. I mean, look at the back. Okay, back's pretty worn out throughout. You can see I do a lot of measuring in the 32-inch area. But this side is still just great. That's still holding up really well. 3 points of contact on that one. And I've dropped this guy several times. You can see it's chipped here, chipped there. Back here it's chipped. I mean, I've dropped this thing off of ladders probably 16 foot high, and she is still good. But decided to retire it and get that Camelon. It's been working pretty good, and the additional feet instead of 16 to 25, it can be helpful. Next up, I've had this also for a pretty long time. Just a carpenter's pencil. This is just Craftsman. Quality tools. Well, used to be. Not so much these days, but it's just good for scoring things up and you want to go back and erase it. And of course, everyone's got to have a Sharpie. This is another red flavor. And they just hold up pretty well compared to the Sharpie brand. Found out these just kind of hold up better. You know. And of course you gotta have a pencil or a pen. So this was Total Line. Just, you always get these for free at supply stores. Just like your little books. So I carry a little book. I don't like carrying things in my pockets, you know, get sweaty and stuff and they get messed up. But you always get these either Johnstone or wherever you go. And it's just good for quick, easy access to stuff. Scribble down some notes or whatever. And yeah, so carry one of those handy. Gotta always keep track of supplies or something like that. Down here, actually, show you this. All right, this is the door sweep. Huh? Anyone recognize that? Nope, probably not. Oh, maybe that guy over there, he probably did. But this is a door sweep. This is typically something you slap on the door to, you know, keep a draft out or whatever, but I put a sweep on something and this was left over. And I was like, oh, this is a nice brush. So I just filed down the edges on it on both sides so it wasn't sharp. Drilled a couple of holes here and on the other side. And I use this to just dust things off, whether I'm dusting off the inside of a furnace or if I'm scraping down a condenser coil. It's got a lot of cottonwood or something built up on it. This works great, surprisingly. And if you get a full stick of it, I think they come in 32 or 36 inches. And I mean, they just cheap, easy. It's got a, you know, you can hold on to it different angles. I don't know. Maybe I'm genius, maybe I'm not. You tell me. Next time you got, always got to have zip ties. Zip tie everything up. I can't tell you the amount of times I've gone out to a unit and I've got a short on a wire because it was chafing or rubbing up against something. Zip tie things away from surfaces. Back here we got a multi-stubby. This is made by Klein. Probably one of my favorite. Actually, yep, my favorite. So we'll take a look. We got a number 2 Phillips, 3/16 slotted, common, flathead, whatever you want to call it, and a 5/16 nut driver, hollow there. Pull that guy out, and we've got a Schrader core remover tool on one end, and a number 2 Robertson or square drive on the other. This comes in handy, and a 1/4-inch drive hex for getting in tight spots. And tight spots it gets into. One of my absolute favorite stubby being this guy. Love it. Down here, let's see, get this guy out. We got a field piece, SPK2. I like this one to just check the temperature in ductworks or vents, stuff like that. 55.6 degrees, and it moves quickly. I say that and it moves slowly. It's because it's cold, you know. But this works great. You can put it at angles up against a piece of sheet metal and it'll clip in there. It's also got this little hook, so that's helpful as well. Not magnetic, but pretty nice. Next up, gotta have jumper cables. I usually just carry these small alligator clip ones. These seem to do the best. And I also have these mag jumpers. Just got 2 magnets on the end, and you can jump thermostats or other ferrous contacts. Some of the terminals aren't ferrous, so they don't stick to them, but wherever I can stick them, I use them just because they're quick and easy. And I've got leads for my multimeter, so the alligator clip ones, and then the needle style ones. These are nice for if something's running and you just want to check amperage on it. You don't have to disconnect it, just poke it through. These are pretty nice. I just got a new set of these because my other ones were, bent up and stuff. Happens. What else do I got? Tubing cutters. So these are rigid, red rigid, that's owned by Emerson. So these are USA made. I don't know if they still make them in the US, but these are USA made, pretty old one. This is nice for getting in tight spots. Do 1/8 to 5/8 OD. Rigid model number 103, so that one's real nice. Got its bigger brother here. Again, red rigid. This is model 101. You can do 1/4 to 1 1/8. So this opens up pretty wide. And I've replaced the wheels on these, both the ones I have, about 3 or 4 times, I'd say. They hold up really well, but you just want to keep them sharp to reduce the amount of time you spend deburring piping. So speaking of deburring, I carry my little pocket deburr tool. This one's well, it's faded, but it's something Rottenberger. I don't know, made in Germany or something like that. Somebody, tell me what it is. I forgot. But this has been working out great. Get in there and remount pipe, deburr pipe, tubing, copper tubing. Sure, not the pipe you're thinking about. Next up, carry a small mirror. This is great for just checking your welds or looking in tight spots. Solder joints. This is an old, not old, but Craftsman stainless, made in USA. So when Craftsman was good, made really good stuff. So I've had this for a long time and it is not cracked. Very nice. Next up, we gotta have a magnet. How many times have you dropped a screw through the top of a condenser where the fan's at, and now you got to take the whole thing apart? Well, this is also another, you can barely see, but it says Craftsman on there. This is another USA made. No longer made them, make them in USA, but it's got the little shield so that it doesn't stick to something on the side. So if I had something metal, it doesn't stick to the side. Actually, I need to get something that's actually metal. That ain't metal. Here, get this guy. So you can see that sticks. It's pretty good too, but the side doesn't, so it doesn't stick to it on the side. You could pull this back and hold it, and then it does stick to the side. And it's pretty strong. But this comes in handy. It's got a really, really good length. Compact. I think it came with a pocket clip, but I'm not a fan of pocket clips. Valves. So I carry my Schrader valves in these little 5 amp fuse containers. Usually when you go to the supply store and buy your little pack of fuses, they'll come in these little boxes, and I just carry my Schrader valves in there. I like to keep them separate from other things so they don't get dirty and stuff gets jammed up in there, and then they don't work. You go replace one that's leaking, you put one of these in and it leaks. You want to keep them as clean as you can. But what I've done is I put a zip tie with some 1/4 poly tube just so doesn't get lost at the bottom of the tool bag. So that's pretty cool. Moving on, talking about valves. I actually just picked this up about a year ago. The Apion app, Ion, Apion. Well, I don't know. It's got a magnet. which is nice at the end of it, so you can stick it to something pretty strong. That wasn't even flat there, but that's decently strong. Just makes it really nice to be able to remove your Schrader valves with pressure still in the system, being able to isolate it, right, so you don't lose your charge. Or when you're pulling a vacuum, these are really good so that your Schrader valve isn't in the way of your vacuum. And I've had a Yellow Jacket by Ritchie for a long time. And I've replaced the seals inside of this multiple times, the O-rings that go inside. And the big difference on this one, so you can tell this is actually a 2-piece, so there's a roll pin right in the middle of there. And I've replaced that roll pin as well as the pin that goes through the handle. So this rod is, I mean, I guess it's 3-piece. So you've got your knob, your rod, and then your tip. If we look at the Apion, the Apion is one single piece. And then down here is when it becomes 2 pieces. So you've got that hex screw there holding it all together. So I do like this design quite a bit. But that Yellow Jacket has held up just fine. It's just nice to have 2 of them to be able to do 2 service ports or a backup for whatever reason. Moving on, your typical, you know, what do they call these? The dog bones. That's it. This one's actually made by Gear Wrench, part number 585220. These are great compared to the older dog bones or the cheaper dog bones that you usually get that look like this but are more of this style, right, where this one's a little busted, but these have like 24 teeth or something like that, when these got 72 tooth, very smooth. Of course, this one's well used, but I use this to open up my oxyacetylene or my acetylene tank. I try to get the ones with the knobs, you know, but the guys, they always give me the ones with the 3/16 square on the acetylene bottle. But this has got 3/16 on it, 1/4 inch, 3/8 for your set screws on a lot of blower motors or the fan blades, the hubs, or 5/16. A lot of them are 5/16, some of them are 3/8. And I've actually, this is your king valve or your service valve tool by Yellow Jacket. It's got your 2 different sizes for your valves. And it's got a little ball detent, right? And that usually never works on anything, especially this Gear Wrench. It doesn't come with, it's just flat, right? It's smooth all the way around. Let me get some more light in here to show you. Wow, it's bright. But if you can see inside of there, I've taken a Dremel with a ball burr and I've created an indent inside of the flat there. And then I marked the outside of it with that same burr so that I know how to key it. So whenever I insert my key here, I insert into there and it gives me a very positive grip compared to if I move the ball to a smooth part, it just comes apart much easier. But I found out doing that, I mean, it's in there. It's not coming out. It takes quite a bit of force to pull it out. But these are really great. Glad Gear Wrench made them. Don't know if they still make them. I haven't looked for them. Next up, we've got this one's a Proto, made in USA, 7/16 and 3/8. All right, now I use this for whenever we do gas valves or anything that requires small B-nuts or even water lines, sometimes 7/16 or 3/8. But this one's really nice. The opening in the end is kind of flared out. You can see right here. So that makes it easy to insert as compared to other ones. Like this is a Pencraft, also made in USA. But we can look here. That one's a lot. It's just sharp, right? When the Proto is got that easier angle. I've got several of these. I also got this older Upland Forge, also made in USA, 3/8, 7/16. This one's a really low profile, skinny type. And then I've got even a smaller. This one's an Armalloy, also made in USA, 3/8, 7/16. I mean, it is tiny. So I prefer this Proto one. This one's been really nice. Get a lot of leverage on everything. Perfect. Next up, Klein. More Klein tools. This is a newer thing I've got. I think I got it maybe also about a year ago. It's 65200. It is a quarter hex drive, magnetic bit driver or nut driver. The opposite side is a 5/16, also hex driver, and you can use the head to spin it, and then it is also reversible. So that's really nice compared to, I used to use this Craftsman. It's also made in USA. This side's 5/16 and quarter. This has got like a nice offset, so I can get in between, say, a plenum and a evaporator coil to get some screws out. I can just get my hand in there and undo a screw or tighten a screw, what have you. But over time, the mechanism it's not as great. Sometimes I'm spinning it and you can't hear it click. Sometimes it skips teeth. This guy, I believe it's 72 tooth as well. Very fine, and I love this little handle here. I can just get a finger in there. Gosh, stop. And you know, move it up and down. So this is great, and it does come with bits. I think I've got I don't know where they're at right now, but maybe look back at it another time. Part 2. One more here, or yeah, just one more. I've got this GB. Okay, this is a lock nut wrench or lock nut spanner. Sorry. These are for your electrical junctions, right? For your conduit. So say you've got, pretend this is a lock nut. Here you can tighten them instead of using your flathead and just beating them or whatever. These are really nice. All right, so it gives you 2 angles. So you've got that angle, and if you just flip it the other way, you're still tightening, but you've got another, it reaches up a little higher here. So you see this one reaches a little lower there in the middle. Flip it over, you got a little bit more reach. And then you go the other way, and of course you loosen. But this is a 1/2 inch, most common really. I do have the 3/4 and 1 inch. I just don't use those as much as the 1/2 inch. Well, there we have it. Trying to keep it a little short. I don't remember what I use this for. I'll find out. But let me know what you guys think. These are just some of the tools that I use, like I said, for going on service calls or even when I'm doing an install. And also this bag, this Veto Pro Pac OT-MC has been pretty good. I've had it for a couple of months. Probably do a video on tool bags because I've got several tool bags and some work, some don't, and I'm not sure if this is working for me entirely yet, but I'm going to keep at it and see how it is. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, share with your friends. You guys got any comments or anything, put it down in the bleacher section again. You guys have a good one.